This is just a quick addendum, right, or a follow-up to the video about multiple functional groups, because I forgot to mention something. The thing I forgot to mention is I covered the fact that if you have a high priority functional group, it gets the main chain, and that if you have any other lower priority functional groups also included in the molecule, that they then get named as branches, as prefixes. Well, there's one extra situation to deal with. We can go back to our highest priority carboxylic acid as an example, right? So here we have carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5, right? So this would be pentanoic acid, right? And if I were to put other functional groups as branches off of that main chain, they would be named as prefixes. But there's one extra situation in which you put a second functional group in that doesn't create a branch, and that's alkenes or alkynes, right? If I add a double bond here, right, that doesn't create a new branch on them. It's actually part of the main chain, right? So then how do we include alkenes and alkynes into the name, right? If the acid and the alkene or alkyne for that matter belong to the same chain, right? And it's actually not all that difficult. Since we start with pent-N usually, and then oic acid, right? The N part of it actually is the beginning part of pentane, right? If I got rid of the oic acid and just put an E, it would be pentane, right? But this isn't actually based off of a pentane with all single bonds. This is actually based off of a pentene with a double bond. So really, I can still use the same base name, but what I'm going to change, I'm going to just change one letter. I'm going to change this A to an E, right? So now it's the starting of pentene, but instead of finishing it with an E to just make pentene, we make it pentene oic acid, right? And then of course, it's pentene oic acid, but where's the pentene? Well, if this is carbon 1, right, this is bond 1, right there. I'll do it in red for the bonds. This would be bond 1, bond 2, bond 3, bond 4, right? So this would of course be a 2-pentenoic acid, right? Because the ene is on bond 2. And if I moved it to here, double bond here, then it would be 3-pentenoic acid. Okay. Now, for triple bonds, right, it's just as easy. Right? I'll just move that 2 a little bit so I can put in a triple bond here. So if I have a triple bond still at bond location 2, well, of course, then triple bonds are alkynes, right, which end in a Y-N-E. Right, so all I have to do now is instead of an A for alkane, right, or an E for alkene, I'm going to put in a Y there. And so then it becomes 2-pentenoic acid. Right? And so that's how we deal with double and triple bonds that are part of the same main chain as a higher priority functional group. Right? We just change the letter preceding the suffix from either A if it's all single bonds, or E if it's got a double bond, or Y if it's got a triple bond. Right? Otherwise, if other functional groups are branching off of the main chain, they become prefixes.